Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Festive, the American Wind Band's holiday performance during its 35th concert season. On Christmas Eve in 1951, amidst the war in Korea, President Harry S. Truman concluded his holiday message to the nation with the following: "The victory we seek is the victory of peace. That victory is promised to us. It was promised to us long ago in the words of the angel choir that sang over Bethlehem. Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men." With those sentiments in mind, and as we grapple again with a world in troubled times, please direct your attention to the American flag, rise if you can, place your hand over your heart if you wish, salute if you're a veteran, and join in singing as the American Wind Band performs the Star Spangled Banner. We have a nice crowd today. We ran out of programs. But that means we have a really nice crowd. In 1966, the Dallas Symphony Orchestra commissioned composer and trombonist John Wasson to write a work based upon two well-known Christmas carols, Joy to the World and O Come All Ye Faithful. Wasson then adapted the work for wind ensemble. The opening Baroque-like trumpet fanfare moves to the horn section, and then back to the trumpets, and finally to the whole ensemble. Here to musically welcome you to the holidays this afternoon is a graduate of the Indiana University School of Music, the University of Illinois Graduate School of Music, presently the orchestra director at Pleasantdale School District 107 in Burr Ridge, and music director of the American Wind Band, Ms. Julie Ciardi, with the American Wind Band and Wasson's Festival Fanfare for Christmas. O Come, Emmanuel has its origins over 1,200 years ago in monastic life of the 8th or 9th century, when monasteries would sing the O antiphons, beginning 8 days before Christmas and culminating on Christmas Eve with the antiphon O Virgo Virginum, or O Virgin of Virgins. The 1851 translation of O Come, Emmanuel by John Mason Neale from Hymns Ancient and Modern is the most prominent by far in the English-speaking world. Robert S. Still Foster, who served as director of bands at the University of Kansas for 31 years, placed his Emmanuel variants in an exceptionally innovative setting of the ancient antiphon, beginning with the stirring brass fanfare leading to a quiet, meditative setting of the hymn. A series of developments utilizing different voices of the ensemble, rhythmic treatments, and harmonic developments follow. The variants then conclude with the return of the brass fanfare for a brilliant finale. Taking the ancient to a modern setting is director Julie Ciarni and the American Wind Band with Foster's Emmanuel Variations. Actually, it's variants. Sorry about that. I've been sworn under penalty of death to not tell you the Bears score. Because several people in this audience are recording it and want to watch it when they go home, including my old elementary school classmate Jeff Bogajski on bass drum, and he's got big mallets, so I can't tell you the score. Clare Grundman earned degrees in music education from The Ohio State University, after which he studied composition with the famous composer Paul Hindemith at the Berkshire Music Center and served as a military musician in the United States Coast Guard from 1942 to 1945. Over his long career, Grundman composed music for films, radio, and television, as well as orchestrations for Broadway musicals. However, he is best known for his many compositions and arrangements for symphonic band. A sometimes forgotten fact about Grundman is that he co-authored the New York Times 1974 crossword puzzle dictionary. Grundman's 1965 setting of Three Carols for Christmas includes the traditional Czech carol Lullaby, the dark English Renaissance era reference to the massacre of the innocents known as Coventry Carol, and The Star. Here to bring you Grundman's lyrical setting of these three carols is a graduate of the DePaul University School of Music, the Northern Illinois University Graduate School of Education, distinguished music educator in Chicago public and private schools, as well as founder and now associate director of the American Wind Band, Mr. Vincent J. Furman, and Three Carols for Christmas. Judaism, the modern version of which historians place as appearing in the late 6th century before the Common Experience, is the prophetical foundation of the other two great monotheistic religions of the world, Christianity and Islam, through the first Jew and prophet Abraham. This year, Jews worldwide celebrated Hannukah from December 7th through the 15th. Known also as the Festival of Lights, Hannukah celebrates the victory of the Maccabees over the Syrian Greek tyrant Antiochus over 2,180 years ago. Legend has it that after the battles were won, there was only enough oil left for the ceremonial lights to last for 1 day. Yet by some miracle, the oil lasted for 8 days. In modern times, candles are lit, one for each day of the holiday, prayers are recited, then the feast and merrymaking begin. A Hannukah festival is a medley of 3 traditional Hannukah songs. Sebevad, a song about the dreidel toy, has a dramatic melody and is written with a variety of accompaniment leading to a brief but impressive clarinet cadenza that segues into Ma'otzur, the traditional hymn that retells Jewish history in poetic form and celebrates deliverance from 4 ancient enemies. The closing features Hannukah, a bright, playful march with an exciting conclusion. So here to bring you Bernotas, a Hannukah festival, is Maestro Ciarni and the American Wind Band. I want to thank our band board president, Bob Kaplan, for helping me out in the program notes on that. And what was interesting is that the first part of that medley, Zebevan, is actually a reverse of what the dreidel toy does. The dreidel toy starts out real fast and then slows down because it's like a spinning top. This one starts out real slow and keeps getting faster. So it's kind of the opposite. Herald Josiah Crosby's fame as a march composer was at its peak during the first 2 decades of the 20th century. Many of his works were composed during the World War I era, thus explaining their patriotic titles. Despite his early demise at the age of 33, he produced exciting and distinctive marches which found wide acceptance in their day. Ever since the United States Congress declared Christmas a federal holiday in 1870, the popularity of the holiday skyrocketed commercially, and Crosby, never shy of popular sentiment, composed Adeste Fidelis March in 1919. Although the roots of Adeste Fidelis go as far back as the 17th century, Crosby placed the hymn in a truly novel 20th century setting. Here to beckon us to intermission, O come all ye faithful, is Vince Furman, the American Wind Band, and the Adeste Fidelis March. Okay, well, if you enjoyed the first half, you're going to love the second half too. But before you go, I won't let you go to intermission until I ask you to give us some money. So, in your programs is an envelope. I've always explained this at every concert. Ever since Vince and I started the band back in the summer of 1989, we've never paid a musician, we've never paid a director. We pay only the bills, such as concert venues. Graciously, the First United Methodist Church of Downers Grove allows us to rehearse downstairs in the gymnasium. They've been wonderful to us. But instruments need repair, timpani need to have new heads replaced, bass drum needs to be replaced, things of that nature have to take place. So any kind of contribution you can give into the envelopes that are in your program would be very, very welcomed. There will be some gentlemen in the back who will have red buckets. There you go, see the red buckets? They're the red buckets. You could drop your donation in there. I'll talk to you and thank you so much for your gracious food donations when we come back. So take a little breather. What time, Julie? 10 minutes, 15? 15-minute break, and we'll be back with a rousing second half. Well, welcome back to the second half. I don't think you heard me after the Hannukah piece. The clarinet soloist on the cadenza there was Art Perez. Art? I'd like to also recognize 3 new members of the band. Sarah Soriano on flute. Sarah? Andrew Wolfking on baritone saxophone. And Ed Green on trumpet. Hey, Ed. I want to thank you all for your donations today to 3 very, very deserving and worthy organizations. The Community Kitchen, DuPage Pads, and People's Resource Center of Westmont and Fish Pantry of Downers Grove will receive all the foodstuffs that you brought today for those not as fortunate as we are during the holidays. So thank yourselves with a big round of applause. Our next concert will be Sunday, February 25th at our normal time, 3 p.m. at the Elmhurst Christian Reformed Church. It will be held on February the 25th in the bleak midwinter. So, Maestro Ciarni has decided that the concert will focus on fire to warm us up. So far, tentatively scheduled for that one is Gershwin's Cuban Overture, Schwartz's Dragon Fight, and Mars from Gustav Holst, The Planets. And also, I believe, a saxophone feature, maybe, Night in Tunisia. So come on out. That's going to be a fun concert. Bring your sunscreen and your long underwear. I also want to thank you, our audience, for the wonderful crowd we have today, and all of our donors who are listed in your program, as well as those foundations and businesses who advertise in the program, because they, along with you, keep us afloat after 35 years. Robert William Smith was an American composer, arranger, and teacher. He studied composition at Troy State University under the tutelage of prolific composer Paul Yoder. He served as band director at Troy State before working exclusively for Warner Brothers Publications, where he traveled the world as a guest conductor and clinician. He returned to Troy State to head up the music industry program there and passed away from complications following heart surgery this past September. Herald the Holidays, his spectacular fanfare and flourish for concert band, employs familiar carols and holiday melodies, making this glorious and celebratory fanfare a proclamation of the season. To open our second half is Maestro Vince Furman, the American Wind Band, and Smith's Herald the Holidays. Gustav Holst was an English composer, arranger, and teacher. Best known for his orchestral suite, The Planets, Holst developed a unique style of composition in line with the English folk song revival of the early 20th century. He composed Christmas Day, a fantasy of old carols, in 1910 for his students at Morley College, and it was an immediate success. Christmas Day is a set of variations on In Dulce Jubilo, with interwoven portions of God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen and the First Noel, which is then interposed with Come Ye Lofty, Come Ye Lowly, to great effect. So imagine yourself in the English countryside on a snowy December night as carolers, dressed just like these guys, serenade you with Gustav Holst's Christmas Day. Elizabeth Bieber on trumpet. Well, we go from the sublime to the ridiculous now. All I Want for Christmas Is My Two Front Teeth is a novelty Christmas song written in 1944 by Donald Yetter Gardner while teaching music at public schools in Smithtown, New York. He asked his second grade class what they wanted for Christmas and noticed that almost all of the students had at least one front tooth missing as they answered in a lisp. Gardner wrote the song in 30 minutes. And it sounds like it. In a 1995 interview, Gardner said, "I was amazed at the way that silly little song was picked up by the whole country. The song was published after an employee of Whitmark Music Company heard Gardner sing it at a music teachers conference. Made famous by Spike Jones and his City Slickers in 1947, it has been recorded numerous times by such performers as Ray Stevens, the Platters, Urbie Green, Nat King Cole, reportedly Gardner's favorite, Dred Zeppelin, and of course the Chipmunks. So for those of you so dentally inclined, here's Vince Firm and the American Wind Band, and All I Want for Christmas Is My Two Front Teeth. No, you just have to imagine Dred Zeppelin singing that. That's it. Okay, Greensleeves is a traditional English folk song as a broadside ballad by the name A New Northern Ditty of Ye Lady Greensleeves. It was registered by Richard Jones at the London Stationers Company in September of 1580. Christmas and New Year texts were associated with the tune from as early as 1686. And by the 19th century, almost every printed collection of Christmas carols in the English language included some version of words and music together, most of them ending with the refrain on Christmas Day in the morning. One of the most popular of these is What Child Is This? The version performed today by the American Wind Band was written by English composer Ralph Vaughan Williams. His works included operas, ballets, chamber music, vocal pieces, and 9 symphonies, all written over his long 60-year career. Strongly influenced by Tudor music and English folk song, his output marked a decisive break in British music from its German-dominated style of the 19th century. Now, to bring you one of the most reflective melodies of the season is Maestro Julie Ciarni and the American Wind Band with Ralph Vaughan Williams' Greensleeves. That was Carolyn Donnelly on flute and Kevin Lowdy and Sue Pietri on baritone horn. A fugue is a musical composition in which one or two themes are reported or imitated by successively entering sections of the band and developed in a continuous interweaving of the melody. Dr. Robert B. Brown's Christmas Fugue, like the charming English folk tune on which it is based, is full of the spirit and fun that is Christmas. After a slow, shimmering introduction, which imparts an impression of Christmas morning, the fugue's melody is abruptly introduced and develops through a series of playful musical episodes, culminating in a combination of themes which find the brass heralding the unmistakable arrival of Christmas. Now embraced as an aspiration the world over, the meaning of Christmas, as noted earlier by Harry Truman, is peace on earth, goodwill toward humankind. So with that in mind all year round, here to close our festive concert is Julie Ciarni, the American Wind Band, and a final message to you, our audience, as we wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy and hopefully peaceful New Year. Well, you want one more? Well, we'll give you one more.
Not a month of the year goes by where I don't have somebody asking me, are you going to do sleigh ride? So that's what we're going to do. But with one addition. Everybody knows the whip part. We have the slapsticks and whip part, and they're usually pretty scrawny issues. We decided to upgrade this year. Now, as you might imagine, between air friction and air displacement, it takes a little bit more skill to play this than the scrawny little whip. So, because the percussionist has to anticipate where he's going to smack. And we have the best smacker in the business. Tom Vaughan.
Well, all of you have a very safe and peaceful holiday. Continue it throughout the year. Come on out on February 25th and here's some heat at the Elmhurst Reformed Christian Church. All right, happy holidays. Bye-bye.